And welcome to Kyoudai Ai, the mostly weekly podcast where two brothers geek out about everything Super Sentai and Kamen Rider, and also anime, or at least the seasons we've watched so far, which are Kuga and Agito. I'm your host, superjollymac, and I'm joined by my brother and co-host, DonTheVan. So let's grab your driver changer, your animal jewels, cue the theme songs, and let's get into all the Toku chaos we love. Now we actually have an opening, so that would play then. But we're after the opening now. So how you been?
I've been good, man. How you been?
Not too bad. Not too bad. A little bit more free time, catching up on some stuff, getting some projects knocked out, as you may have seen.
Yeah. I'm enjoying the project.
Yeah. So slowly but surely, adding a little bit at a time. Other than that, not too much going on. Getting a little chilly here. How about over down there?
It's been pretty warm lately, but I stepped out today, like a couple hours ago, and it is getting kind of cool, like in the evening times. So the heat like dips really fast.
Yeah.
So it's about that time. 'Tis the season, yeah.
And I'm ready for it.
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead and get into it. You been listening to anything new?
The only thing new, really, I listened to Coco Jones' album. I'm just now listening to it. I think it came out, I don't know. It says February, so I'm late, but I just now listened to it and I liked it.
Okay.
And I listened to these guys called Joey Valence and Bray. They're okay.
The name sounds familiar. I don't know if I've heard at least Joey Valence.
Mm-hmm. Joey Valence and Bray. Well, it's glary, but
maybe not. Isn't that the dude from Friends?
You talking about Joey?
Is that the name of the guy from Friends? No, I don't know. I never really watched
Joey,
Friends.
Yeah, Joey's from Friends. Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think this is the same guy. But he does have the same name.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's where I heard the name from then. Never watched Friends, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I mean, neither have I. I've only seen like a couple episodes on TV. So. More of a How I Met Your Mother type.
Yeah, I don't think I got to the final season. I think I may have skipped the final season, but I got pretty far into that.
It's so good. So good.
It was good. I wonder if it holds up though.
I mean, I think so. I started watching it like last year again. And I was enjoying it on the rewatch. So that and Supernatural.
Supernatural, I also only got like halfway through Supernatural, and then I like dipped out. It just fell off for me. But
well, yeah. It dips and it gets kind of slow a little bit in the middle, but if you persevere, it's still pretty good.
We'll see. Yeah, I haven't really been listening to anything. A lot of old stuff, so just stuff I've already been listening to. Waiting for my recap to come out. I think they do it every 3 months, so I wonder what the latest one would show me. But
okay.
Yeah. What about gaming? You've been playing anything?
Gaming? No, I played Marvel Rivals again 2 days ago.
Okay.
That was pretty cool. I'm stuck in gold and I hate it. As far as ranking goes, gold is ridiculous. It's like where everybody starts to get an ego and nobody wants to switch characters, and it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. The ranking system is just all over the place. But I had fun, so that's all that matters, I guess.
Yeah, I'm still playing the same things. Final Fantasy 14. I can't remember if I said I completed the raid last time, but I've completed the raid. So now I'm getting the materials to upgrade all my my high level gear one by one.
Yeah.
And then trying to get further in the story mode. There's a little bit of story left in this update, so I'm trying to get to the end of that.
Okay.
Other than
How was
that, the raid is a lot. There's colors flying everywhere, people doing stuff. Like, I think we wiped once or twice, maybe once, but it was pretty fun. It's very because at this point it's up to our level gear. So if you come in with the right gear, you're kind of like equal footing for the raid. But of course, some people don't come in with the higher level gear. They have like whatever they could piece together. And then not everybody knows the moves. So they get wiped by things. And even if you know the moves, because I look it up beforehand, I go in there and I'm still dying sometimes, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might convince me to download this game again, to get a subscription and like catch up on all the DLC and like play with you again. You might convince me.
I mean, I could get you through, but when did you leave?
I left a while ago. It's been like a couple years now at this point.
Yeah, so you probably have like 2, because you probably didn't do Dawn Trail was the new one, and then what was the? Did you go to the like World of Light? Yeah, so you're a couple episodes back.
Yeah, I'm behind because even when I came back, I wasn't even all the way caught up. I think I was still trying to catch up on like the post game with the base.
Yeah. So you have you have a couple of them to catch up on. But I mean,
yeah,
some of them are fun. I mean, some of them are a little bit of a slog, but they have some cool dungeons and stuff. So it gets there.
Yeah. Maybe if I decide to do it, I'll record it or something or live stream it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Make it a thing.
Should get into Phasmophobia again, or and that Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 3 would be a fun one to do too. So we need to figure that one out.
Yeah, that's in the works. We're figuring it out. Yeah.
Other than that, I've been playing Luto still. So the same game I was playing before.
Okay.
Still creepy. Still has a lot of puzzles. I'm surprised. Some of them seem a little convoluted. I'm like, I think I'm thinking a little bit too hard for this. Why can't I figure it out? And then that ends up being the solution. So I'm like, okay, well, or it unlocks something. Like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go, what I'm supposed to do, but I'm going places and going new places. So I think I'm getting further along in the game, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
A little bit creepy, but having a good time. I'm here for the creeps.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, I guess if there's no more, we can go ahead and get into the watching. That's pretty quick for this week.
Yeah.
But last week was a little longer than normal with the new intros. So.
Yeah. I'm not really. I don't think I've seen anything this week. I haven't had too much time to sit and watch anything, so I haven't watched anything new outside of the episodes for today.
Yeah, I haven't either. I wanted to watch Weapons, but I saw that it's basically leaving theaters, so I'll probably have to wait for it to get on streaming or something.
Oh, okay. It's a good one.
Because it looked like it looked like the only times available were like midnight, and it's like I can't go out at midnight, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe on a Friday I could probably pull it off. I probably could.
I know I would be.
Yeah.
I'd be sleeping today.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be sleeping at the theater for sure.
So, Weapons is on the list, and then we still need to do Have you seen K-pop Hunter? K-pop Demon Hunters? All right, so
I've been seeing so many like just videos.
I haven't been watching anything. So this weekend, I think I'm going to watch it.
Okay, I'll watch it this weekend then.
Yeah. So this weekend, I will definitely watch K-pop Hunter or Demon Hunters. Yeah, probably. It's a long weekend, so I could probably fit that one in. Weapons, we'll see. Hopefully it hits streaming soon, because it's like there's like one showing in one theater around here. So
It's definitely about that time in the in its like life cycle where, I mean, has it even been out that long? How long has it been out?
Weapons? I don't know.
It seems like it's been out a couple of weeks. Is that how short the life cycles are for the movies now? Just a couple of weeks? Used to be
Uh,
months.
no, I don't think. I think they stay out like a couple weeks and then they go to streaming. I guess it depends on how big the movie is, though.
My friends, we're getting ready to watch The Conjuring when it comes out, the new one.
Is that not out yet? Let me know how that one
It's
is
not
too,
out yet.
because
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that one.
Yeah, we're gonna do a watch party and like watch all the old ones, and leading up into this one, and then when it comes out, we'll go watch it. So I think that's probably in like a couple of weeks, maybe like 2 weeks, 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. I got you though. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, let me know how it is. I think I've seen all the mainline ones. I haven't even some of the side stories like
Yeah.
La Llorona and what is it, The Nun?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Those were good.
Yeah, the
Annabelle.
last Conjuring one, yeah, Annabelle was fine. I don't think that was that bad, but the last Conjuring I don't think was as good, but they've still been decent.
I can understand that. I'm not mad at that one. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. At first, I didn't think it was real with the promotions when it was first coming out, but it was. Like with the
I
name, like
I didn't even see any of the promotions. I just happened to I think I was looking up times for weapons and I happened to see that that was like highly ranked or something like that, or like it was being advertised. And I was like, wait, is this supposed to be coming out? I didn't know there was a new one coming out.
oh yeah, Last Rites. This one sounds real. The last one though, The Devil Made Me Do It, did not sound real.
What do you
That
mean?
sounded like fan made or something like that.
Oh,
Somebody like made it up.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't the best. Absolutely not the best. But I think the second one might have been like really, really good. But yeah. Anyways. Yeah. So we got stuff to watch this weekend. Okay. So K-pop Demon Hunters is on the watch list, and I think that's it. We at least gotta watch that one to see
Yeah.
what it's like.
That and everything else that we normally do.
Yes. All right. It's on the checklist. Well, I mean, did you want to just get into the anime? That was pretty short.
Let's get into it. I mean, last week was way too long, so I'm sure we'll end up making this one longer than it really needs to be too. But let's go ahead and get it going.
Probably. All right. Well, as you guys already know, spoilers ahead for Gachiakuta, DandaDan, Kamen Rider, Agito, and Gaoranger. I mess up on the whole beginning part. Moyo type super sent. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Hyakujuu, Hyakujuu Sentai,
Yeah.
Gaoranger.
Yeah. I never get that right. But yeah, spoilers ahead for all of the shows we're about to talk about. If you have not seen them, definitely pause, go watch them, and then come back. All right, we'll be here. All right, so we're gonna pick up the anime section with Gachiakuta episode 7, A Score to Settle. All right, so basically we pick up literally at the end of last episode where Jabber is pretty much insane, which he'll be that way forever apparently, and he like stabbed himself with one of his like claws, and that turned him into like a mindless fighter to go against Rudo's instrument at the time, which detects whenever somebody attacks him with some violent intent. And so this is happening. Rudo is like, yo, this dude is insane. He's like either a genius or like just really crazy. Then he's like, no. He's like a masochist or something like that. And then it cuts to like a little flashback scene of like kids calling Rudo a masochist or something like that. And so as this is happening, they're kind of going back like fighting and everything like that. And Rudo's low-key getting overwhelmed. And right before he, I mean, it looked like he was about to get worked. But right before he gets worked, Zonka shows up and like throws his staff and gets Jabber out of the way, and he's ready for round 2. And he's like, "Bro, I'm still alive. don't forget about me. And so, with that being said, Zonka and Rudo, while Jabber is unconscious, they're coming up with a strategy to try to take him on. And when Jabber wakes up, surprisingly enough, their strategy works. And pretty much it's Zonka tries to attack Rudo, and Rudo sends him flying towards Jabber to help out with speed and whatnot, and it works. And they put a beat down on Jabber just in time because Zonka's like he's clean out of energy, and Rudo also is out of energy. Apparently, his instrument kind of crumbles into dust. And as this is happening, Rudo kind of like breaks down, and he's like, "Yo, I broke the vital instrument, and I broke oh man, what's his name? Oh no, what's his name? What is his name? His name is I have it written down, guys. I promise. His name is Grease, Grease, or Grease,
Chris, I think.
Gris.
Yeah.
Gris gave him his prized possession, which is like a an amulet or like a prayer token. And so it like crumbles and he breaks it. And so Ruda kind of breaks down because he's like, "Oh, I broke it," and everything like that. But also he's breaking down because he got hit by Jabber's claws. And pretty much Jabber kidnaps Rudo after explaining to Zonka how his claws work, which is I tried to get it, but I think I got it. The left one dulls like pain for a short amount of time, and so and his right claw immobilizes his enemies or just anything it touches for like 30 minutes. He said. When he like stabs himself with his right claw, it does him for 10 minutes, but or like it's like a poison that like immobilizes and whatnot.
I think it's based on the power level of the person that he's fighting. So for like for Zonka, it probably like in 30 minutes he'd be clean again. But for him, he built up a resistance, so it only affects him about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I think he said if he uses a little bit of the venom on his left one, then it'll dull the pain so he can move around.
Yeah, without feeling anything.
Yeah.
Because Uncle was confused as to like why he was like still moving around and whatnot. So he explained it a little bit. He did a little villain speech. But with that, he kidnaps Rudo and heads up to the surface. Rudo is kind of like do something, but obviously we know how Rudo is, and he did nothing, absolutely nothing, and froze. And so with that, once Jabber makes it to the surface, Engine and Rio are there to cut him off, and they pull up with more cleaners, and pretty much they were waiting for Jabber outside, and they look pissed. And so Jabber gets and with that, they're kind of just exchanging words. Engine sends Jabber flying because he showed up out of nowhere, and that was great. I was like, "Yes, sir, get the business." But then Engine sends the supporters down into the hole, the manhole or underground to grab everybody else, and start helping to get them out. With that, they kind of Jabber and Engine and the rest of the cleaners are just exchanging words right now. And right when Jabber is about to go insane again, well, he's been insane this whole time. But right when he's about to like start fighting them again, he gets grabbed from behind by his teammate who is called Kathoni. And she pretty much tells him like, "Yo, you're good. Let's go. We gotta go. The boss is happy. He's smiling or whatever, and we can go." And so Jabber's like, "All right, cool, man. We were just about to get busy, but I got places to be." And then he's like, "Yo, Rudo, I recognize those symbols on that symbol in your gloves, bro." And then he's like, "They must belong to a series or something like that." And I'm like, "Series? What do you mean by series?" And so with that, Jabber disappears into his little manhole teleporty thing, and we are left with that scene. So yeah, that is episode 7 of Gachiakuta. What'd you think, man?
I was in. The fighting was obviously still like top tier. Love the fighting scenes. I liked having Zonka show up because you could kind of see it coming. It was like, okay, Rudo is about to hit the limit. Like, there's no way he's getting out of this one. Like, Zonka's got to show up. Like, somebody's got to show up and help this man out. Because he was literally like at the end. And then talking about the counter plan while like really quick, just coming up with a counter plan. The little banter back and forth. Usually the comedy doesn't hit for me on this show, but for their back and forth, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna hit you and then you're gonna send me flying. And then he's like, no, you just really want to hit me, don't you? He's like, no, it's all part of the plan. So that worked. The comedy was decent. I like the new mysteries they kind of opened up about powers, and kind of the whole lore of the universe. So the series thing was like, obviously ears perked up for that. Yeah, I'm in for it. Like, it was a good episode. I liked everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were about to get a bigger throwdown. Like, I thought they were just gonna go into another fight when they got outside and like the whole gang was right there. I was like, oh, we're about to throw it out again. But yeah,
I did too. Honestly, I was like, yo, if Driver goes into another showdown, I don't know what's up with this guy, but he might be top tier, level villain.
That and for a second, I was like, oh, they are going to let Rudo get kidnapped. Like, I don't know where this story is gonna go.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, they're turning it into a rescue mission.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. But yeah, no, he got saved. And I don't know, man. This one was really good. Yeah, the comedy, I feel like maybe it just takes some time to let their personalities kind of like settle in, and then like it's like, oh, this makes more sense now. Like maybe they just kind of threw us in the deep end, like at first, especially with Rudo and what's his name, Zonka.
Yeah,
because like it's kind of the same as before, but it's like it has more context now, and it's like, yeah, he doesn't like you, and he does want to hit you.
Yeah,
so like,
I don't know. I will see if they get out of the fight scenes and the comedy still doesn't hit. It might just be one of those things.
Yeah.
Some shonen comedy hits, some of it doesn't. It depends on the anime. It depends on the person too. Some people might love it. So
yeah. But yeah, I will say I do like it when they get serious though.
Yeah.
When they get serious, it's really good. It's so good. But I think I'm eager to see how Rudo kind of gets around. Like, I wonder if anytime he uses the vital instrument to like it, I don't know if he uses it to its full potential, but when he uses it like really well, if it's gonna crumble every time. Like the plunger didn't crumble, obviously, but
did it
he
not?
uses it to the same extent that he did the amulet. I wonder if that's gonna happen.
That's what I was thinking too, because the first weapons he used to fight, didn't they crumble? And then he grabbed another one?
I thought they just stopped working. Maybe they did crumble. I gotta go back and watch it.
Yeah, because
I remember them crumbling.
I wasn't sure if the crumbling was because Gris was dying, like if he's dead, or if they saved him at enough time, and it's just like whatever Rudo uses is going to like run out of juice and eventually crumble. So I'm interested in seeing that. Like the series obviously was like a big thing. It's like, okay, what's going up with these things?
Yeah, what does that mean?
All the little characters that popped up, I'm interested in their powers. So yeah.
I don't know, man. It's like it's grabbing my attention just enough to keep me there.
Yeah, I think it's stringing along enough plot points to like just get you, and it's just 7 episodes in. Like this is the first season, 7 episodes in. Like it got there pretty quick. Like for no setup for most of the characters and any like no backstories really. They've introduced a lot of lore and kind of like slowly introduced little bits and pieces without getting too heavy in the exposition dump. So I think it's doing a great job so far.
Yeah, my friend, he read the manga and he said that it was really good. And he's like, you're gonna really enjoy it. So I don't know. I think it's holding up.
Yeah,
I'm trusting his opinion. So
I did hear a lot of hype beforehand, which is why it was like on my list of things to try to catch. And like the first episode or two, I was like, all right, this is gonna be overhyped, but I see why it's getting that praise. And if they can keep up with the quality of everything, I'm in.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Me too. Speaking of quality and keeping up with it, we're on to the next show, DandaDan, which they don't really miss, in my opinion. They have not missed yet and have failed to do so. So
we can go. Yeah, no, do your thing. Do your thing.
okay, so we're on episode 20. Since this is how it is numbered in the show, it's episode 20, episode 8 of season 2, and pretty much it's named "You Can Do It, Okarun," which I mean he did. So so we start off pretty much at the end of last episode, as always, and Okarun and Ira transform into their yokai form after the ghost composers start to send, like, obviously harmful notes their ways. We find out that the notes are bombs and that the rest symbols are like freezes that freeze them. So they're sending all of that their way, and now they're trying to dodge it, and it's kind of playing into like what Turbo Granny was saying in the previous episode, as far as you have to move like in rhythm or like at a certain pace, and some people can put a whole bunch of like strikes or hits inside of a beat, and other people have less. And so you're kind of seeing this in real time. And so Okarun starts to see the difference in his and Ira's abilities, because Ira's able to move a whole lot faster and dodge all the notes a lot more efficiently than Okarun is, because Okarun is getting hit left and right, and Ira's dodging them. And so with that, Turbo Granny pretty much tells Okarun, she's like, "Yo, figure out a rhythm that and go with it. You need to figure out how to like dodge these notes. Like, think of a song you've heard in the past or something like that." And he's like, "Yo, I don't really listen to music." And then he just thinks of like the Hayashi band when they played their song, and pretty much uses that song. He's like, "I bet," and it worked. He ends up moving faster, and he's able to dodge the notes. And together, him and Ira are able to take out one of the composers. I think it's the maestro, the person with the I don't want to say baton, but the wand.
Yeah.
I forget what it's actually called, but yeah. And with that, with one of the composers defeated, the stakes ramp up. The other composers are like, "Yeah, no, this ain't gonna fly," and then they start to like really team up, and it sounded like they had like a jumbled mesh of songs going on to kind of like confuse them or like to throw off the rhythm. But pretty much what happens is I don't even know what happens, but like each one has their own song, which creates a like a void or something like that. And then like the guy on the piano, the composer, he like does his thing. He's like, "I'm pissed," and creates like a whole like opera house type of thing. And he like creates a choir. And this is so hard to like really explain. You got to watch the episode to really understand. But like it just like ramps it up, and like they have to dodge like a horde of like opera people, singing choir people. And with that, they pretty much leave Ira to take care of like the giant people, and Octoroon is like split off to go take care of the main composers. And in that, Octoroon starts to understand how to add more switches in one beat, in Turbo Granny's words, because she said, "Oh yeah, with this I can like you hit like 5 switches in one beat." And Octoroon is like, "Oh, I think I understand what you're talking about." And so with that, he goes all out for the first time in this episode, and he is able to hit 5 switches in a beat. What they mean by five switches in a beat, I don't know, but that's what they do. So with that, at the end, after defeating all of the composers, Okarun is like, "Yo, thank you guys for like showing up." He thanks Ira personally. Ira gets tongue tied because she has the hots for Okarun, and she doesn't know what to say. And then he turns to Turbo Granny. He's like, "Yo, thanks, Turbo Granny." She's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. But there's like way more to my power, and it goes way beyond what you learned tonight." And then she explains that, like, yeah, the composers are just like the manifestation of like students' thoughts about being afraid of the posters or whatever. And she's like, "Yeah, but if like you play the music again at like this time, then they'll come back and like be doubly strong and like really kill you for sure." And then as she's stepping off the piano, she accidentally steps on a note, and then they have to fight again. But as they're fighting, we cut to the house. And back at the house, Pretty much. I forget the priest's name. I call him Priest. His name is Priest. Priest is pretty much telling Gigi that they're gonna have to get rid of Evil Eye, and that Hayashi, the band, is coming tomorrow. And Jin is like, "What, bro? Like, I can take care of this." And Momo is like, "Yo, Jin's been practicing. He can take care of this. He'll hold his own." And as they're going through that, Okarun is outside. He's like, "Yo, Jin, step outside." And him, Turbo Granny, and Ira are outside. Ira has the thermos with the water in it, and Jin's like, not Jin. And then Okarun is like, "Yo, splash him with the water. I'm trying to fight 1-on-1 with Evil Eye." and like he gives a fiery speech, and he's pretty much like, "Yo, let's do this." And Sexy Grandma is like, "Yo, hey, once a guy gives out a fiery speech, you just gotta let him do his thing and let him go." So with Seiko's words ringing true, Ira splashes Jin with the cold water. I think is what he needs to be splashed with. She splashes him with cold water, and he turns into Evil Eye. And like, yo, Okarun is like going up toe to toe, and we leave off on like a nice freeze frame of them face to face, as if this is opening night on a UFC fight in the octagon. So, what did you think about this episode?
It's like your description just gets like more and more extreme, but that's exactly how the episode is going. It's like he just shows up out in front of the house and he's like, "Let's do this." and they have like the weirdest poses. Like DandaDan shouldn't work. I don't know why it works. It's weird because it has all of its pacing is just like a little bit off, and it does all these like the fight was mostly black and white when they were fighting the composers, and like for a good section of it I like I forgot that it was black and white until like there's little splashes of color and stuff. Like they do a great job with everything they're doing. The fight scenes were great, the color is great, the animation's great, the story is great. Like I like how they're slowly learning more about themselves and their powers. You can kind of feel like what all of the younger gang is going through, even the older gang. It's like, Seiko is like torn between like what she should do and what she wants to do to help them get stronger. So like, I'm up for it. Let's go. I thought this fight was going to take a lot longer than it actually did. So they're cruising in. I thought getting Jin back would take like the rest of the season, but I don't know if it's going to take that long. They might get into it. Maybe we'll get something else but before the season ends. So I'm in for it. Let's go. Okarun's also getting kind of cut. Like he had his shirt off, and I'm like, okay, man, I see that. That's some hard work.
He's going crazy. It seems like the season is gonna be like a kind of like up and down roller coaster of like, oh, Evil Eye's out of control. Oh, we're kind of got a handle on it. Oh, it's out of control. We got a handle on it, which honestly sounds like a bad idea to really like put out an execution. But the way they're doing it is kind of working. I'm not gonna lie. So I am eager to see what happens. I saw the little post credits, like the end of the episode type of thing of like, I guess the next episode.
Whoa.
Yeah. I know I don't normally watch that, but I watched it this time. I'm not gonna say anything, but it is giving that roller coaster effect. But yeah, this episode was crazy. Like I like the setup of it starting in black and white, and the only color was like Ira's and Okarun's hair, like the red and pink.
Yeah.
And then the composer's eyes and whatnot being the color. I was like, all right, cool, this is tough. And then like it just like slowly transitioned into like the notes having colors and like just the streaks behind. I was like, all right, it's so artistic. I love it. But it was great. I'm glad that they brought the song back too. The what is it? Hayashi band song.
Yeah,
I love that song. That song's so good.
Did you hear about the drama?
Huh?
Did you hear about all the drama with the band?
The drama?
and the song,
No,
the drama.
no, no.
They sound a little bit too much like X Japan. So for a little bit, people, X Japan is this big J rock band from like a while ago, and I guess the band members in the anime have a lot of similarities to it. Which I mean, DandaDan has been doing that with a bunch of stuff, like
Yeah.
and I think it's just homages, but I guess they didn't get it cleared by them or something like that. So there was some confusion between the fans. I think it's all good now, but yeah.
That's crazy. How dare this band have issues with DonTheVan?
I mean,
Enjoy the
hey,
anime. Call it a day.
I think the song was like really close to some of X Japan's other work, but X Japan seemed, for me at least, they seem more like big hair rock. So I don't know.
Mhm.
The Hayashis didn't really feel like that. They felt more like what, grunge? I don't know how you would, metalish. Hunting soul. What is it? Hunting
I would
soul.
say they seem more like grungy, but also like I was about to say they got apparently for the American or the dubbed version, they got the lead singer of Dragon Force to like come out and sing for it. So they had that feel to it too. And Dragon Force is, I mean, I can see how it sounds kind of big. It has like qualities of big hair rock, I could say.
Well, I'm saying X Japan's music kind of gave me that feel from back in the day. This isn't about the Hunting Soul, the song in the anime.
Yeah, I mean, but it does give that feel. Like, okay, the aesthetic of the band is big hair rock for sure.
Yeah.
In the anime, it definitely is. But I can see how it has some type of influence. I wouldn't necessarily call it big hair rock, but yeah, I can see how you could say it was be similar to that and how they could like feel that way. But nah, I would say it's more like you said, grunge and I don't know what Dragon Force would classify their music as, but it felt more like that. I want to say metal, but it's not quite that hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it was good, man. Drama. Look at that. DonTheVan already causing drama in the scene.
Copyright stuff. I mean, everybody's got to protect their music and everything and their looks. I mean, because I think the members of Hayashi really are supposed to look like X Japan. But I mean, they've been. I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised they haven't had more drama because they've been grabbing stuff from like Ranma, like a lot of stuff from a lot of places. But I think it's homages. But the question is, when does it stop being an homage and then start becoming like a copyright thing?
Plagiarism or something like that.
Yeah, plagiarism. But we'll see. I'm in.
Man. I'm into. I can't wait to see the next episode and see how this goes. I think both shows are in a good spot right now. Like I'm fully invested. So I'm excited. The next episode of DonTheVan is out, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting till Friday.
Oh yeah,
it is.
I guess Thursday. We record on Thursdays, but yeah.
Wait till Sunday till Gachiakuta comes out before I watch it, so I could just watch them at the same time.
Yeah, I'll probably do the same.
It was so tempting. I was gonna just let it play.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, but that wraps up the anime for this week, and so hope you guys are enjoying the anime. We're gonna move on to Toku.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start with Toku with Hyaku Sentai Gaoranger. Spoilers ahead for Quest 5 through 8. So for the next 4 episodes, we're going to talk about everything that happened and spoilers. So Quest 5, The Mountain Moves, Yamaga Ugoku. We start out kind of with Tetomu, the Miko. I don't know if you know what a Miko is. It's like the shrine priestess kind of. So she tells the Rangers that the stone is an animal jewel, and then they figure out that the scroll that they have is kind of a hint to what's coming or what they should be looking for. So they kind of figure out that the next animal should be a elephant. At the same time, Tire Org is running around the town, and then he gets scouted by the One Horns. He's causing a lot of ruckus, running into like bikes and cars. It was a lot of chaos. It's some pretty fun scenery with him like running through the motorbikes, having them crash, and then slamming down on the top of some cars. Eventually, the Rangers come out. The blue, yellow, and black one start fighting him. Red and white hang back to watch Tetomu because she kind of has a twitch in her nose, and white's like, something's up with her. And red kind of hangs back with her, and then they start tracking her secretly throughout the town as she kind of tries to find out where the elephant would be. At one point, she gets cornered by some punks, I guess you would call them, and then she kind of takes him out. Like, she's got some hands. But back with Tire Org, he finds white and red, and then steals Tetomu after she gets rid of the punks. But the Rangers end up tracking them down and then saving her at the last second. So they get in the way of Tire Org before he can take all of the stuff. So they fight and defeat Tire Org the first time, while Tetomu figures out the elephant is hiding in the mountain that they kind of ended up at. When Tire goes giant, White ends up jumping out of the robo, and then kind of fighting the One Horns to kind of protect Tetomu. And then Tetomu creates the Gaoranger from the stone and then gives it to White, who equips it. And then Gao Elephant shows up and then turns into a sword and shield for the robot. And then they use that to defeat the big tire. And that's kind of the end of the episode. I guess I can go first. The running animation for the Rangers, I'm not really into. Like, they get on all fours and then run for some of them, and then the other ones kind of swim through the air and then fly. That's kind of odd. They did that, I think, here to try to catch up to Tire. They had to run really fast, so they kind of had a scene of them doing that. That's odd to me, but other than that, not a bad episode. I think it's getting a little bit better. The opening wasn't as bad as I thought it was the first run, but still not anywhere as good as that first song. So, I mean, it's not as annoying, but it's not exactly growing on me, but it's not being overly, like, I'm not angry at it. It's fine. Any thoughts for Quest 5?
I'm not a fan of the running animation either. Like, I saw it and I was like, "Oh, this is clunky. This is cringy."
Yeah.
I said, "This is a no." I said, "Stop, please stop."
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it still has to grow on me. It's not hitting quite the same. It's either that or I was just really attached to the Time Rangers. It could be that. Like, for whatever reason, I really enjoyed the Time Rangers a lot more than I thought I did. Like, I'm really missing them. But, I mean, yeah, they're okay. White seems like she's the only normal Ranger, in a sense. Black, red, blue, and yellow, just something's off. I don't know. Something just is off in their personality types up to this point. And I mean, it's a little bit better than the first four, I guess. Maybe they're settling in and like they're getting used to each other. Yeah, I don't know. It's still clunky for me. So, but I did not expect that they would be adding the new animals this soon. They added the elephant, so I know I had mentioned that because I saw it in the little scene, but hey.
I tried to look in the opening and I didn't see like the other animals in there. So I don't know what scene you saw, but I mean, it was kind of a gimme that there would be more.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'll go look again and see if I can see what it was really quick though. Like it kind of like just like and they're like not like in the forefront, they're like in the background. So I'll have to go look again and I can let you know.
Yeah.
I'll send you a text.
So not bad.
Yeah. It wasn't that bad. But yeah, the opening, no. It has no, absolutely not. It is not growing on me at all.
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say it's growing. It's just not like
That's bad.
Yeah, it's not as bad as I originally thought it was, but yeah, I don't see it ever beating out the Time Ranger.
Maybe I'm being harsh. I will say the music. The music's pretty good.
No, so when they're doing the giant fight, that music was pretty good. Yeah, I don't know how it goes, but that one was pretty good. That one is the one they should have with the opening.
I was gonna say the opening music's not half bad either. Like it's not the worst.
Yeah,
it's the vocals on top of the music that takes it all the way out. I'm just like, nope. As soon as he starts singing, I'm like, yo, you should have just kept him off. Just let the music rock. That's it. But yeah, like I was like, let me not be too harsh. Like the growling and all that. Nah, that can go. I see what you're trying to do, though. It can go. But yeah, the music for when they go big, the fight scene, yeah, that's good. I like that too.
Yeah, when he goes Kyoudai mode. So Kyoudai is also like giant. I don't know if I ever explained that. Did we go over that?
Kyoudai?
Yeah. Is giant.
No.
Yeah.
I heard them say henshin in the show. I was like, oh, I know that word.
Yeah. Let's go ahead to Quest 4, or not Quest 4, Quest 6. Bison in Love. Ushi Koga Rareru. Getting tongue tied. So we open up with an org kidnapping an office lady, and then the Rangers chase them into a wedding hall, which is a pretty funny scene that happens right after that. They end up getting kicked out, but return unsuited to infiltrate the wedding hall. Then we see the org stealing the life force from the woman in order to make it into a statue, I guess, and beautiful forever. And then we see kind of some energy going into the wand that the org carries. The Rangers start working undercover in the wedding hall. And then they sort of think that the manager of the wedding hall is suspicious. So they start looking into him. And then he tries to start something during a ceremony, and then they kind of all activate. And then it ends up being like a new service that the manager wants to give the couples. It's like a little girl coming down in an angel costume. And then the Rangers kind of like tackle everybody. Like, it's ridiculous what they're doing. But it's actually pretty funny. So, I mean, it works.
Yeah.
But during that, they see that the org is actually the wedding dress that the bride is wearing. So it starts running out with the bride out of the room. And it ends up being that the org is working for somebody inside of the wedding hall. And it's actually the worker that Black had started to catch feelings for. He's like, this lady is so pretty. And that ends up being the person working with the org, trying to feed her the bride so she can get the energy and turn young. So after the org, wedding dress org, gets the energy from the new bride, it uses the energy on the worker and then turns her into a baby. And then Black kind of jumps out of nowhere. Black was also kind of disguised as another bride. The org sees that it's actually a guy and that the powers don't kind of work on him. So he jumps out of his costume and then he kind of sumo slaps the wedding dress org out of the building. And then the Rangers fight him and then steal the weapon that he used to kind of turn all of the ladies into doll or mannequins, I guess. So after that, they defeat him, get the weapon back. Then the org goes Kyoudai mode. And then they beat it again with the new elephant sword and shield combo. Black covers for the worker who's called Shimada-san. And then at the end, he tries to ask her out, but she kind of goes into this spiel where she's like, yeah, I should accept the marriage proposal that I got. And like before he can even ask her out. And it looks like the manager had asked her to marry him and that she had finally been like, yeah, I'm going to marry that guy. So they walk off and Black's just like rejected. So that's the end. Thoughts on that episode?
I mean, hey, the only thing I could think of the whole episode is, bro, man, my guy DonTheVan, this would never happen to him. I was like, yo, I said, Black just don't got the sauce like that. That's crazy.
DonTheVan and ISA, like, I don't think either of those guys would have got. Actually, none of the Rangers would have gotten it. Well, maybe Shion. But
yeah, Shion. I don't know. I probably could pull it off. I don't know. But I was like, man, not my yellow. Nope.
go ahead.
He was good. He was going. But no, this episode I thought, okay, this one worked a little bit better. I will definitely say. I was like, okay, they might be on to something a little bit. Because I did think it was funny when they had the whole scene in the church with the little girl, like they all like kind of like bounced a little ahead of time prematurely. I was like, all right, that's funny. And then I also thought it was funny that like they had him dress up in the wedding dress and like the org tried to use the wand on him too, and it didn't work. I was like, all right, there's some little moments in here.
Yeah,
like, this one, if we can do this a little bit more, we might be on to something. But yeah. I thought that was really cool. I thought it added a little bit more personality to Black too. So I did enjoy that. And I'm like, okay. So Black got some points. He's going up there with White a little bit. He's not there yet. But you know, he's trying to creep up there. So yeah.
And the sumo thing, I don't know if that came out like in a previous episode, but this is like you kind of get that he's kind of got like interest in the sumo, or maybe he's got some training in sumo or something like that. So that was pretty cool.
I mean, this is the first time it shows in the series episode season. Whatever.
Season, yeah.
But I don't know. It might be like related to like the animal too. Like it might be because they're like themed animals. They might have different fighting styles.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So I don't know. That's something for us to pay attention to.
Yeah, but I think this one also keeps increasing like how I feel about the season. Like it's getting better. Yeah, it's not getting that bad. The only one I really don't like is Blue at this point. Blue, like, nah.
Really?
Yeah, Blue just seems annoying. And we're going off of this episode, like Blue just seems I'm not a big fan of Blue. The other ones are fine. Yellow is kind of like non-existent. This one, Black, kind of gets the shine a little bit. White, I don't see her really doing too much. Well, I guess she did a lot last episode though. So, but I mean, other than that, Blue is kind of annoying. Other than that, they're fine.
Yeah, I agree.
But the comedy did hit, and I think that turned everything around for me.
You said which what?
The comedy did hit, even at the very beginning of the episode. So that I think that kind of like brought it up a couple points with me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. That's why I said like Black got 1 or 2 points for this one. So, yeah. Same page. All right. Episode what?
Yeah.
7?
Let's keep it moving with Quest 7. The Dream Talks. Yume ga kataru. Blue is having a bad dream. Or a vision when Totomu kind of senses a strong org. So she kind of gets feelings when orgs pop up, and kind of points the Rangers to where they can investigate. This time they kind of go to a pier and they start investigating, and then they find this big boat org coming ashore. I guess before this, we have a scene with a boat being out on the water, and then it gets attacked by something, but we don't see what it is. Blue knocks the org into the water and then starts fighting inside of the water, but he loses the fight after talking a lot of trash about being like the best in water. He gets brought out, taken back to the rock to heal. After healing up, he runs into the same kid he sees at the port that the org was about to attack. And he talks about trying to get a message bottle off of the org that he sees. Boat org shows up again and attacks. And then he kind of cleans up. He just attacks everybody and he's like working everybody. The whole squad shows up to assist, but it really doesn't help into the fight until I think the kid is Tayo. We don't see it, but he had already gotten kind of fussed at by Blue before for using the crane because he almost hits Blue while he's working it. And this time the crane kind of comes in and also assists with the fight. And then they turn around and Tayo is standing right on the crane. And he kind of throws the bottle to him. So we kind of assume that he was messing with the crane again. They defeat the boat org small form after the help from the crane. But the elephant doesn't help with the giant fight. They try to use the elephant's sword and shield, but it doesn't really work. Tatomu figures out that Blue's dream is about the next power animal that was hidden. I forget. It's supposed to be like a rod, a spotted rod or spotted lance that he sees. Spear. Yari. Yeah, spear. But Tatomu figures out that it should be Gao giraffe. So it ends up being that the crane that they thought the kid had been using to help them with was actually moving on its own accord, and it was actually the giraffe kind of in disguise. So it transforms into the Gao King spear. They kind of take off the arm, and then it gets replaced by the giraffe, which is Gao King spear, and then it breaks through the shield from Boat and destroys him in like one fell swoop. He gets destroyed. And then we get a shot of the one horns coming back, and then Shuten just punishing him with lightning, which is pretty harsh. And then you kind of get a final scene of Blue and the boy kind of on the pier, and the boy's talking about how he's going to kind of take up the mantle by his father, who they assume is like lost at sea. But in the end, the father and kind of like everybody on the ship comes by on a lifeboat. So they made it. And that's kind of the end of the episode. Happy endings all around. So I will start out by saying that this season is definitely a lot lighter than Time Ranger. I don't know if that has something to do why this one feels a little off. But I mean, it's a kid's show, so this kind of has more of the kiddie vibe, especially since everybody's not dying every episode. There's not a ton of people dying.
Especially,
yeah.
What? It's a big, big difference.
Yeah. So other than that, I thought it was fine. Another animal coming out, so I guess we're going to get through these pretty quickly. I think they figured out in this episode that there's 4 that they're going to be fighting. So there was the elephant, and now they found the giraffe, and then there should be 2 more that they're going to find.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're running through at a quick pace.
A lot faster than I thought they would, to be honest.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought it would be like a quarterly type of thing. Like, they'll find one at like a quarter section of the season, and then they'll find another one like at the half point. And I thought it would be something more like that, but no, they're going at a good clip.
Yeah.
But I mean, this episode was definitely. I enjoyed this episode. I can't lie. I enjoyed the last one, and I enjoyed this one. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as the first 4.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't as bad as the first 4. So I mean, I thought it was funny how Blue lost and everything like that. This guy. I mean, so he seems a bit, I wouldn't say cocky or anything like that, but definitely very, very sure of himself. And he gets humbled. So I wonder if that's going to play a part moving forward in time. So I do want to see how his characterization changes or doesn't change moving forward. But this was a cute episode. It was chill. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I like the fact that the little scroll doesn't have all of the information on it, so like they got to kind of like piece it together and like try to figure it out. So yeah, I'm eager to see what the next couple of animals are going to be.
Yeah, there's like burn marks in the scroll, and then Totomo kind of figures out that gap kind of fills into Blue's dream, and that's where she can go, oh yeah, that's the animal, it must be the giraffe. And so that was pretty cool seeing that. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it for that episode. It was fine.
I will say you can see in Blue's fighting style how he like kind of like has swinging movements in his fighting style, kind of reminiscent of like, I guess, flowing like water. So I guess that would go into like the whole, they kind of have like fighting styles similar to like their animals. I wonder if, being that Blue now has the giraffe and White has the elephant, if that's going to change their fighting styles or if they're going to add new moves to that.
Yes. So far, it just seems like armaments for the Gao King, I think, the giant robo. But yeah, I don't know if they'll end up having something for the smaller forms too. I know they can use the jewels inside of their weapons, but I don't know if they can use them or if there's a use for them when they're fighting like in small form.
Yeah, time will tell.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean 8.
Next up is Quest 8. The dog runs. Inu Hashiru. So we open up with Red having dropped his pass case, and everyone looks inside and sees a picture of a woman holding a dog, and they're like, oh, that must be Red's girlfriend, especially White. And she's like, oh, she's so cute, I want to fall in love one day. And then everybody's like, oh, with me? And she's like, no. But while there's a new signal that pops up, and then they all go out to investigate it. And then while they're investigating the town that the signal popped up, we learned that Red's real name is Kakeru, which is new information I don't think we've ever gotten. And then we also find out that Signal Org is the one causing trouble in the town, and that's why there's so many accidents. And then while fighting him, Red kind of loses his short-term memory, or the memories he made since he became Gao Red. He gets his memories knocked out, and then he gets blasted by a ray and knocked into the lake or the water, where he de-transforms, and then he's found by a dog, but he ends up dropping his, what is it called? It's his cell phone, or the cell phone that they use to transform. Gao something. Yeah. But we find out that the people that found him were actually from his old workplace, which was a veterinarian's office. And then there's also more townspeople that kind of just run through the city like, Kakeru Sensei is back. I'm going to bring all of the animals. The Rangers end up fighting him, or he doesn't have any memories, so he doesn't go back to the rock. The Rangers are worried and wonder if he's dead. They end up finding out that he is back at the veterinarian's office. But White they kind of group together while he's on a walk with the dog to kind of try to take him back to the rock. But White gets in the way, and she's like, we just need to leave him alone so he can stay with his girlfriend and have a happy life. And while they're doing that, they get attacked by the orgs again. And all of the Rangers are fighting while trying to cover for Red. And then during the fight, he ends up asking if there's any way he can help. And then they kind of teach him how to transform again. So he transforms into Gao Red without the memories, and then he helps fight and defeat the signal. It's kind of funny because they combine weapons, and then he just grabs the huge weapon and just starts swinging him at the guy. And then they kind of all get back together and then like destroy the small form. So then he turns into giant mode. So in Kyoudai form, they defeat him again with giraffe. So they use the spear from the giraffe to defeat him in large form. And then we learned that his first name is Shishi, and that the woman in the photograph is actually the director's wife. So the old dude's wife. So Red comes back to the Rangers. He gets his memories back after they defeat Signal Org in the small form. And then he kind of goes back to the office and he's like, Kakuto sensei asked me to give you this message. He's out doing something to kind of help the world. And then the director kind of, although they both kind of figure out immediately what's going on, but he leaves. And then he kind of, when he tells everybody that the lady is actually the director's wife, he's like, yeah, my love is actually the dog. And that's it. This episode was decent. I liked learning a little bit more about Red's backstory. I wonder if that's how we're going to start learning more about the Rangers as they go on. They're going to kind of get bits and pieces of their past. There's like a little safety plug with Signal Org when he dies. He's like, you guys need to look both ways when you cross the street or something like that. It reminded me of the old G.I. Joe, like, knowledge things that they put at the end of the episodes. So I thought that was pretty funny. But I mean, the episode was pretty good.
Yeah.
What did you think?
It wasn't bad. Excuse me. I thought, yeah, when he said like my love with the dog, I said, what do you mean by that?
Oh no. Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. I said, no, don't be that guy. But I think it's just his love for animals. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah.
Until proven otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, that threw me for a loop. Him losing his memory was pretty interesting. Them all kind of pining over White was, I was like, come on now, guys, relax, have some standards, have some dignity. But yeah, I mean, all in all, it was decent. It wasn't a bad episode. I think the last three were definitely better, and though it's not the best, I will take this over again the first 4 episodes.
Yeah, I think it's ramping up, especially the last one. It kind of feels a lot more like, okay, we're starting to get into a little bit of the story, maybe this season.
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing. The motivations for the season really haven't come out yet, but
yeah, not at all. I mean, you can kind of see them starting to interact with each other and them being the Rangers like a little bit better. Or more. I'll just say more. I wouldn't say better, but just more. So it's pretty cool. What was I about to say? I was about to say something. Oh no. Did I just blank? I did blank. Well, happens. I'm sure to come back later.
Yeah, I think that's the big things for Sentai this week, if there's nothing else. Do you want a little bit more time? All right, we can go ahead with Kamen Rider Agito for this week then. Starting off strong with episode 5, The Third Warrior, Daisan no Senshi. So in this one, we start out kind of where the last episode ended. We have Mikumo, the scientist from Oparts, waking up and then seeing small footsteps exiting, or footprints that lead outside of the lab, and they're kind of like evaporating. And then we hit the opening sequence. Then we go back to the professor's house, and Taichi is in trouble for spending the money from the broken bottle. So there was a bottle with 100 yen coin inside of it that they were trying to investigate to see if there were like mysterious powers. And he cracks it at the end of the last episode. And he's in a lot of trouble. So that was a pretty fun sequence between everybody. The coach is still alive, we see, but he's starting to dodge Ryo's calls. And then Ryo shows up at practice to try to speak to him, and he's kind of like dodging him. Then we find out that the scientist at Oparts didn't tell anybody else what she had seen. And then Oparts is being kind of dismantled because they haven't shown any progress in anything. So all of the equipment is being taken apart. And she still doesn't tell anybody what she saw. So earlier, Mana got kind of a bad score. The daughter of the professor got a bad score in her test, so they have a new tutor. She gets a new tutor assigned that everybody kind of gets affections for, kind of like White did. Everybody did with White during the Sentai. Everybody is like enthralled by her beauty. Shoichi tries to get her to become his tutor as well. It looks exactly like Ryo's girlfriend that we kind of see in a picture that Ryo is holding when he goes back home after being ditched by his coach. And then we also see Mana using one of her ESP or her power to kind of mark the right answers for a test that she takes. Hikawa, I'm going back to Hikawa from Makoto, because everybody calls him Hikawa, so there's no point in me calling him Makoto. But he shows up suddenly, and then when the tutor is going home, and then he drops off the tutor, Shoichi, and Mana. And then Shoichi can't remember Hikawa's name, so there's a little gag where he keeps calling him different names while they're on the drive back to drop off the tutor. When they drop her off, Ryo is waiting there to talk to her, but as soon as he leaves, she gets attacked by the new unknown that's been going around and killing a couple of people. Hikawa manages to protect her until Agito arrives, and then he fights off the unknown and takes him to a new spot. They fight for a while, and then we kind of get glimpses of this mysterious boy kind of just watching them in all black. And then another unknown jumps into the fight, so it's 2 versus 1 on Agito. But he keeps fighting. He ends up knocking one out of the fight and then squares up with the last one. When we cut to Ryo and we see him on the ground, and kind of his hand changes colors, like his skin's changing colors, and that's kind of where we cut off for the episode. I think at the end of this episode, though, we kind of figure out that Hikawa was actually trying to tail the tutor, and that's why he was kind of like around being kind of creepy. Because the tutor was actually related to one of the previous the people that got attacked previously and killed. That's kind of the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I guess I can start this one off. I think it's funny how the coach is dodging. Again, I'm probably gonna be like really bad with names this time around, also, but he's dodging Rio. Rio.
But yeah.
Okay, he's dodging Rio, and like the teammates are like kind of like sending him off for covering for the coach and whatnot. Because like when I first saw that, I was like, oh, that's weird. Like the coach seemed like he really wanted to talk to him for a second, and then you just see him dodging him, and I was like, oh, that's sad. And I was like, what did he show him on the inside? It like made it seem like he can transform at will or something like that. And I'm like, if that's the case, then like, what's up? But I don't know. Maybe we'll find out later what the coach saw or anything like that. But
At least he's not dead.
It's funny how, huh?
At least he's not dead. For a second I was like, yeah, he probably ate him. I don't know.
At least he's not dead. A lot less death than Kuga.
I don't know about that. Well, maybe, yeah, maybe, yeah.
So far, the body count's at like what, 5 or 7?
Yeah.
Whereas in Kuga, it was at like what, 500 or 700? Like what?
Yeah.
They were going crazy in Kuga. But no, I'd say I think it's funny how everybody is pining over the tutor, and like how it's bringing the three Kamen Riders together, where it's like okay, so Robo Rider is tailing her
G3.
because she's related to the last victim.
Yeah.
Agito Rider is there because I mean the tutoring, and also he's like, yo, she's like so pretty, yada yada. And then Rio is like, yeah, that's my girl.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, bro. So I don't know. I thought that was funny how that's like a central point that brings them together. But yeah, it's a cool episode. I like this a lot better than I do Gaoranger. I'll say that.
Yeah, it feels like the production is like switched. Last season it felt like the Sentai was like a higher production than Kamen Rider, but this one seems like it flipped. Like
Yeah,
they started to see that money and they're putting it to use.
yeah. Definitely the writing. Definitely the writing is better, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good so far. We're seeing a lot more bits and pieces. No answers really so far, but other than that, it's pretty good. Like I thought it was a decent episode.
Yeah.
We get to pull Rio back into the story a little bit, so. But let's keep it. Yeah, but let's keep it going with episode 6, Sorrowful Monstrous Fist, Kanshiki Yokin. So the unknown backs off from the fight with Agito. We kind of start this episode right where we left off the last one. The unknown backs off and leaves as Hikawa goes to the tutor. This is where we kind of get the formal name, I think, of the tutor. And then we figure out that she is the daughter of the previous victim. And then a second unknown attacks another person. And then we see that person gets pulled through kind of a little portal. So now we kind of see how maybe these people are dying. Then our buddy Hojo shows up to be annoying at the police station. But we do learn a little bit about Hikawa's past and that he was apparently the savior of a boat incident called the Akatsuki Go by himself. So he saved everybody but one passenger who mysteriously disappeared after the incident. Meanwhile, the unknown attacks while Ryo and Mayumi, who is the tutor, are out and walking around, but they are being tailed by two cops for protection, we assume. But the unknown attacks, the cops kind of try to drive it away and then tell them both to run away while they do it. So while they're running away, they get attacked again by the unknown, and Ryo gets sucked through the portal, and then up into the sky. He pops out up in the sky and he's about to fall to his death. But as soon as he's about to hit, he stops and then he kind of changes forms. And Mayumi sees him do this. And then he kind of falls on the ground right afterwards, safe and sound. Meanwhile, scientist Mikumu from the O Parts is kind of being stalked by this creepy kid. I call him Fishy Kid. So Fishy Kid is popping up randomly, just kind of staring at her. But I don't think she gets glimpses of him, but never like a really good look. And doesn't see him, but he's apparently tracking her down. While that happens, an unknown attacks someone else, which triggers Hikawa gets a call, I think, on his cell phone that G3 is about to move out, and then Shoichi gets kind of a sense that something's going on, and then he runs off to try to fight the unknown. When that happens, the other unknown pops out once they're both gone, and then starts to try to attack Mayumi while she's being kind of escorted back to the train station. But Ryo shows up and transforms and attacks him. and then ends up looking like he kind of goes berserk. So he has antenna that gets larger, and then he has like these kind of sharp things on the back of his foot that kind of grow out. And then he actually has a blade that pops out of his arm too. And like he's fighting with all this stuff. He's like biting at him and stuff. And then he just goes ham on him and defeats the unknown. So he defeats that unknown. And then G3 and Agito also get to they get their unknown to retreat. They don't end up defeating it. But they do damage it a lot, I think. And then that unknown ends up popping up where the scientist is from Oparts, Mikumo. And then it runs to her and attacks it, even though the fishy kid tells it, like, goes no to it. It attacks it. And I assume hurt her. And then when that happens, fishy kid's just like, oh, you're about to kill yourself. And then it just kills itself. And that's kind of where the episode ends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fishy kid's OP.
Yeah. So thoughts?
First off, I love Rio's transformation. Great, in my opinion. And he might be my favorite at this point. So, I love a little berserk. A little chaos, if you will. Yes. Sign me up for more. I need more. So yeah, like when he started yelling, I was like, yo, this dude is like reminding me of like Super Saiyan, like Goku or something like that. I was like, yeah, I love it. I was like, I need more of this. Yeah, I like how Agito and Rio transformed in front of their female counterparts. And then they're like, oh, I'm scared of you. You're like the unknown. And then they're like, no, I promise I'm not. And then they're like, okay, well, as long as you just stay yourself, we're fine. So it's like, all right, cool. At least they still have their loved ones in their lives.
Well,
Rio, not
yeah.
so much. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, like 100%, but that might be the way it's going. I don't know.
Well, he got the call that was like, yeah, you got to stay away from me. Don't get me involved. And we assume that's kind of like what happened with the coach too. So
yeah, I don't know. She might change her mind. I don't know. She didn't seem as committed as the coach. She just was like, don't get me involved in this unknown business. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Rio might have the Riz. I don't know. He might have the pizzazz and the suave, you know what I'm saying? The suave to get him through this. I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah. But for now, he's kind of getting, everybody wants to stay away. They don't want to get involved with whatever he's got going on. But nobody's reporting him, which I guess is strong. That's a good one. Good part. But other than that, yeah.
But I like the direction the story is going in. I want to know more about the kid, and I want to see how the three riders work together.
Yeah. If they work together.
Oh, true. You're right. If they work together. We don't know that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming a lot. But also I want to know the backstory behind them, I guess. Because like in Kuga, we got a little bit, I guess you could say. And I'd like to know more about the unknown also. So yeah. Hopefully we get more answers. There have been a lot of questions for me.
Yeah. I think it's all been questions. But I like where it's going so far. They're keeping me involved from episode to episode. They're starting to introduce new parts to the series. It feels like they're slowly building stuff up. So I'm in for it.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
So
so let's get to.
We are on to episode 7.
Yep. A piece of a memory. Kyoku no Ippin. So we start this one up kind of where at the end of the last one, Ryo had defeated the unknown, and then we kind of see him in pain, kind of trying to walk away. And then Fishy Kid sees him kind of collapse. And then Ryo's arms kind of like go like a weird old leathery look to him. Then we learned that Mana is about to visit her father's grave. Her father had apparently died 2 years ago. And then we cut back to the police force, and we see that the police force is re-examining Hikawa's piloting of the G3. So it looks like Hojo blackmailed the top 3 old dudes that we kind of see in meetings sometimes, to try to get them to reevaluate the G3 and take it from Hikawa and give it to him. And he's using something that had happened from the Akatsuki Go incident to try to show that they wanted that covered up. And that's why they gave it to Hikawa. And that if he doesn't get it, then he's going to blackmail them with it. Which just kind of plummets any hope for this dude in my mind at all. But it seems to be working. But we start learning a little bit more about that Akatsuki Go incident, where Hikawa was the patrolling officer and just happened to be looking out at it and saw this beam of light going by it. And that's kind of what got him to go to it. And then kind of as soon as he got into that beam of light, he saw there was a storm and kind of destroying the ship. Afterwards, we cut back to Fishy Kid. Fishy Kid's watching over Ryo, and then he turns into Fishy Teen. And then Shoichi passes out while cleaning Mana's room, because he kind of gets feedback from touching, I think, a photo of her father that he finds in a book. And then she comes in, finds him, but when she touches his forehead, she kind of get glimpses of what we assume is his true memory and sees her father kind of dying, like his last moments, basically. And that it looks like Shoichi may have been there when it happened. Afterwards, we see another unknown is attacking kind of people around the city, and this one seems to be picking up quite a body count. It's just swooping in and kind of like headbutting people to death. Shoichi picks up the signal from it and then kind of heads out to fight it. But as he's fighting it, he kind of kicks up at it, and then it kind of kicks down, and then it completely like defeats Shoichi, and then he kind of passes out. And that's kind of where the episode ends. So I can start off with this one. I think it's good that they're starting, even now. I thought they were going to bring up the incident and not tell us anything about the Akatsuki Go. It was just like, hey, here's a little nugget. We're going to save that till the end of the season. But they already started the next episode going out like, okay, this is a little bit of what's going on. I'm sure we're not getting everything that happened yet, but it's nice that they're already starting to give us some info. Yeah. Even with Shoichi's past, like, I wasn't really expecting that to happen. But when Mana, I guess they've been kind of using her powers a lot more. So seeing her kind of use that to get some of Shoichi's, that's a pretty cool way to do it. Get some backstory for Shoichi in there too. So they're starting to answer some questions at least.
Yeah, it's a nice plot device, I would say. Without being exposition-y.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah. I don't have much to say about this episode. I think I fell asleep on this one at a certain point.
You gotta watch
I thought I remember this one, but I don't. After hearing you like talk about it, I was like, oh, I do not remember this happening.
Yeah, there wasn't really much that happened. The big ones were like the police station, Hojo trying to do his coup, it looks like, to take over the G3. And then Mana getting angry at Shoichi for all of this stuff, and then like Shoichi doing something else, and then getting even deeper in trouble. But yeah. I think the big thing was her reading that memory. That was the big thing.
I think I remember seeing the memory too.
Yeah.
I will say, policeman dude, I don't like him. He's like he's giving me He's giving me
Naoto.
Naoto vibes.
Yeah, Naoto, 100%.
Yeah, yeah, all the way. Doing anything for power.
Yeah.
This guy. Gosh, man. I hope
Uh,
he is unsuccessful in his endeavors.
yeah, but we can go ahead to episode 8 to round out the weekend and the week, and this kind of wraps up kind of the last story as well. Episode 8, the Sword of Red Flames, Akai Hono no Tsurugi. So this one we start out with the professor returning home and then getting an update on everybody from Taichi, and he's just like giving him the download, like, this is what Shoichi did, this is what Mana did, this is what your cop friend did, this is what everybody's talking about. And then we kind of see Shoichi, who had passed out from the fight, but when he wakes up, he sees kids flying an airplane and kind of gets some idea, we think. Afterwards, I think we shift back to the cops, and then the engineer is like, yeah, Hojo, something's wrong with the Hojo. Oh, I think this is where they have the meeting. And then we find out that Hojo is actually supposed to become the next G3 kind of operator. Hikawa is asking questions to the officer that had found one of the victims of the newest attack. And then they figure out that the victims had been attacked in spots where there wasn't enough time to go from point to point. So it was impossible. So it must be a new and unknown. And then Hikawa's trying to figure out if there's any relatives of anybody else that had been attacked that they could go protect. But Hojo's just doing his Hojo thing and trying to take everything over. So from there we go back to Ryo, and Fishy Teen is still with him. And then he kind of does a flash of light and fixes Hojo's hands. Hikawa is getting called clumsy, like at the police office. He was getting called clumsy by like the police officer that kind of helps him with the G3 unit. And then he goes to the professor's house to try to see if he can talk to him about humans with weird powers. And then there, Shoichi tries to get him to help him with the bed that he's making or fixing for Mana. And then he breaks like all of Shoichi's tools while he's trying to help him. And then Shoichi also calls him clumsy. But while that happens, the professor comes back, and then they start, Hikawa and the professor starts chatting about the powers, how the professor doesn't believe in them. But it comes up that he tells Hikawa about Mana's father that passed away, and it was still kind of an unsolved case. But in the end, Shoichi fixes Mana's bed, and then he heads out as Agito when he gets a signal of another attack. I think this is when we find out also that the G3 had been under lockdown, but Hojo is now going to be the new G3 pilot. And then Agito fights the Flying Unknown, and then during the fight he switches to a new form, a red form, and then he also comes with a new weapon in that form that also does the same thing his kind of like antenna does, and pops out the scabbard. And then he kind of slices it in two, and it explodes during the fight, which was pretty cool. But right at the end, we cut back to Fishy Teen, who is, I think, getting some water or something for Ryo, and Ryo's watching him. And then he turns into Fishy Adult. So while he's getting stuff ready, he does another little flash, and then he gets even older into Fishy Adult. And then Ryo sees it, transforms into his new form, and then he runs to attack him. And as we does that, we learn that his name is Gills. So this is Gills. And I think that's the end of the episode.
So Fishy Adult is Gills.
No, Fishy Adult is not Gills. Fishy Adult is the kid that keeps getting older every single, like after a little bit of time. He's the DNA dude that O-Parts did. But Gills, I think, is Ryo. Yeah, Ryo is called Gills, I think. That's his green form.
Oh, that's tough. I wonder why it's called Gills.
I assume because he's a swimmer. I don't know. It fits.
True. You know what? That makes way more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But I
I
assume.
was like, I don't remember seeing gills on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes sense.
So I was wondering if he would get a name, but I guess we got the name already. So good.
Yeah.
Now we have something to call him. But that was the end of the episode. I think it was pretty good. A lot of good action. We got a new form out of Agito. We got a name for Gills, which is nice. Curious to see what's going on with this kid who definitely can't be good. And
yeah, well, it's adult. I guess now.
And how that's going to affect Ryo. So maybe Ryo is going to be on the bad side of things.
Maybe. Well, we know. What's the dude's name? What's the police name?
Oh, Hojo? Yeah.
Hojo? Mojito. Hojo? Yeah, we know he's not going to be on the good side of things.
Yeah. So
yeah. It seems like every time like we get an answer, we get like 5 more questions.
Yeah. But I think they're doing a good job of giving us some answers while giving us some more questions or more stuff that we want to learn about.
Moving along.
Yeah.
Yeah, things are definitely moving along. I can definitely say that. I can also say I fell asleep during this episode too.
Well, you're no help.
I did not realize I fell asleep during these episodes. I thought I was awake. I literally thought I watched them.
You gotta stay awake, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm into it. I like the episodes. I stayed awake for them all. I thought they were interesting. So far, I like the fights. I like they're juggling all of the characters pretty well. I thought that might be an issue when I saw the 3 of them riding, but they're doing a good job, especially now. I guess Ryo didn't really get any time at the beginning, so I'm curious how they're going to do that. Obviously, there's going to be some conflict between them, especially once Hojo starts getting that suit. Who knows what's going to happen, but I'm into it so far.
Yeah. I'm into it too.
Yeah.
Despite my my sleepy endeavors, I'm into it too.
Yeah. But I guess that's it for this week. That's all of the episodes. Looking forward to next week. Keep up if you can. If not, do what you need to, and then come back and catch up with us once you get to the same points that we are in.
Yeah.
But
it's okay if you fall asleep during the episode. It's okay.
Sure. You can just rewatch it. But we will catch you next week at the same time to go over the next batch of episodes for all of the series we're watching so far. As always, superjollymac and DonTheVan signing off. We may not have much money. We may not have much time. But there's one thing we do have a lot of.
Yep, and that is 100 yen coins.
I mean, I actually do have a lot of those. Peace.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Pesos.